Hi, everybody. My name is Revelation. Today is July 5th, 2019. I'm here tonight to talk about magic and how we use it every day. I learned this from doing research, looking into the Anunnaki text. You can choose to believe it or choose not. I'm just telling you what I learned and what I believe. We use magic every day. When I say we use magic every day, I'm talking about cell phone, talking about this earpiece I got in my ear. Okay, if you went back to the 1400s with a cell phone, took a picture of somebody, and let's say if the church saw it, they would accuse you of witchcraft and using magic and burn you to the stake. And that person who you took a picture of, they would also get burned to the stake. So that's number one when I'm talking about magic. Number two, when I'm talking about we use magic every day, I'm talking about potions. What a witch doctor will prescribe for you to get well, to get better, or to put a love potion on somebody. We use that every day, potions. But they changed the name of it. They call it medicine now. Okay? They call it medicine. This is another reason why I say we use magic every day. Just change the name. Okay? Late 1800s with the industrial boom, they just changed the name. Medicine. It used to be called potions, now it's called medicine. And we use medicine every day. And the thing with medicine, it helps you temporarily. It's not a permanent fix. It's a temporary fix. But that's going to be another story, another advice when I get ready to talk about that, because you're using magic. All right, I'm going to go to number three. I'm talking about magic. Your doctor. Back in the day, they would call him a witch doctor. Perform, give you some potions, sprinkling some dust, having some smoke that you can breathe in. Yeah, your doctor used to be called a witch doctor. They just took the witch off and just called him a doctor. If you was back in the day and you were supposed to die and your doctor performed surgery on you and saved your life, and they knew you were supposed to die, they would have burned you to the stake. Like, that's witchcraft. You know, everybody else died. Why you live is witchcraft. So they just took the witch off and just called you a doctor. Using magic. Okay? It's magic. Talk about it in the Bible, but they took it out. They took the magic part out. They took a lot of stuff out the Bible. You know, you read in the King James version, you would have to learn Hebrew and understand what you read. You would have to go to the Catholic Church and tell them to open up the books of the original text. So, Revelation, that's me. I'm trying to tell you the truth right now. But you hold your own destiny to believe what you want to believe. I'm breaking it down. I'm breaking it down for you right now. Number four, spells. The tongue always casting spells. Okay? We use spells every day. Just change the name, but we use them every day. A spell is like a law. They call them laws now. If you break the law, you're going to be cursed because you broke a spell. And with you breaking the law, you go to jail. If you're a male, it's a nightmare for you. You got to worry about joining the gang. You got to worry about them raping you. You got to worry about this, that. You're locked in the cage. It's like hell. So, you use spells every day. A spell. Let me tell you for instance. A spell is like when you tell your kid and call their name and tell them to come here. They obey and they're coming. And then you say you cast another spell. Before when you tell them, look, I want this house clean. If it's not clean, it's gonna be a problem when I get back. So when I'm about to go, I'm telling you, I want this house clean, everything clean. By the time I get back, it better be clean. And casting a spell right there with your tongue. If they don't follow your directive, when you get back, it's going to be a problem. Be some form of chastising or something going on. So that's one abscess of a spell. And then when I told you about the laws, when you break the law, you're breaking the spell. So now you're going to be cursed. You're going to go to jail. Back in the day, when you broke that law, you got the death penalty. So it's all type of spells. You're talking about, I don't use magic, but you use it every day. I'm about to go to number 5. I'm just breaking this knowledge down for you and telling you how you using magic. When you worshiping. This is number 5. When you worshiping. You know what worship means? It means work for. It means control. You doing what your mother and father taught you how to do. Go to church, be good. You can see 6 days a week, but on the 7th day, you better be up and worshiping. Mean work for. In the Hebrew language, when they talk about Adam, that means man. All this stuff is lined up together. Stuff they tell you, stuff they don't tell you. That's in the Bible. So I'm just trying to break it down. When you worshiping, it's like chanting when you go to church. You're chanting. Oh God, oh please help me, blah blah. So I can have this. You praying and you begging. Praying and you begging. I'm gonna go to church so I can go to heaven. In the Hebrew Bible, there ain't no such thing as hell. We need to do our homework before we read one book and we think we holier than thou and we going to heaven. You need to read more than one book. You need to go back. The Bible is only 2,000 years old. They say our species, that Homo sapien, only been around for about 300, 400,000 years. That's a bunch of BS. We've been around for billions of years. Been around a long time. People ain't gonna believe that because they stuck in a box. They don't know how to think outside the box. We've been around for a long time. I'm gonna tell you this. You don't have to believe me. This Homo sapien form right here, this ain't even your original form. People talk about aliens. I don't believe in aliens. Go look in the mirror. You'll see one. Okay? In the image of your God, who you talk about your God. Go in the mirror, you'll go see one. The original form is a chimpanzee. They can give blood to humans. They have the same blood types as humans. That's your original form. Okay? The Anunnaki text is older than the Bible. Okay? It's real old. And the Bible took a lot out of the Anunnaki text. Out of the Sumerian text. And I can tell you, for example, in chapter 6, verse 1 through 4 of Genesis in the Bible, they talk about the Anunnaki. When God's Son came from the heavens and came down and took a man's daughter and made it as his wife. Made her as his wife. It's telling you, bitch. Came from the heavens, outer space. That's what we're talking about. Came from outer space. Came down and had a woman be his wife and made it and had kids. Okay? When they talk about the different species, the Homo erectus, the Neanderthal, all these different species of humans, they're talking about us. Because they were making all these different types of slaves, the Anunnaki, to mine for gold, to be their servants, to worship, to work for, to do all this stuff. Okay? I mean, they came 1.8 million years ago. That's when they first arrived on the scene. And it was mostly males. There wasn't a lot of females, but mostly males. And they came. And they worked. They came here for the gold to try to say they planted. And they worked and they worked. But they didn't have a woman. And the ones who did have women, the women were getting raped. So that's another reason why they made us. The women was getting raped. Mining for the gold was too hard. They were dying off because they couldn't really breathe the air too good. They was walking around with, they can breathe air, but they couldn't really breathe it. It was hurting them. It was killing them. And, they were lonely too. They were far away from home. So that's when they had the big idea. Let's modify. Let's use stem cell research and modify and make something in our liking. In Psalms 82, they talk about when the gods in the Old Testament, the gods with an S. They didn't say like in the New Testament, God. In the Old Testament, talk about in Psalms 82, gods with an S. So that means it was more than one God. If you was a primitive and you saw something flying in the air and making fire with a spark, you'd think it was a god. If you didn't know no better, you'd think it was a god. When I say magic, all we did was change the name to science. That's all we did. Change the name to science. But it was first called magic. Okay? When Revelation trying to tell you something, the Anunnaki still here. They run the government. They run the banks. They control your destiny. You say, nobody don't control me. When you go to the light tell you to stop. Then the light tell you to go. You got a boss tell you what time they want you to be here. If you ain't here, you're going to lose your job. If you don't go to work, you're going to take care of your family. If you don't have the Social Security, you can't go to work. You're a legal alien. Social Security is the mark of the beast. Okay? It's the mark of the beast. But people want to believe what they want to believe. I mean, some people are so brainwashed, so far gone, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the truth. It talks about in the Bible in Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 1 through 24, that circle thing coming down from the heavens, from outer space. Coming down. That sounds like a spaceship. Then it's showing different symbols of a face of a human, which is us. Showing a picture of a bull. That's star constellations. Showing a picture of an eagle. It's showing a picture of a different type of zodiac sign. Them are star constellations. The Bible telling you about the Anunnaki, but you thinking of something spiritual. That's another chapter that I'm going to talk about, because I'm going to blow your minds with that. But they talk about them in the Bible. With Sodom and Gomorrah, they talk about the Anunnaki. When Lot was waiting for the angels at the front gate, he was waiting for them. Don't that tell you something? He knew they was coming. Obviously, Lot was a spy. And them angels was looking for fallen angels. That's why they was there. They were looking for fallen angels, rebels. And Lot was a spy. That's why he told his family to get out of there. Because they knew they was going to drop a nuke on that city. That's why he's telling the family, get out of there. You helped us. We found some of the fallen angels. We about to nuke this place. And they nuked it with a nuclear bomb. Okay? And after they nuked it, his wife was told not to look back. She looked back, and she got burnt up. Up in World War II, Hiroshima, a lot of them people who got burnt up won't look like statues. They look like a pile of salt. When you touch them, they fell apart. People, you reading the story, but you're not understanding what you're reading. You're not understanding what you're reading. On Mars, they got faces, pyramids, like they got pyramids up in Egypt. They had a nuclear war there. I don't know, because I got to do more research, if the Anunnaki dropped that nuclear bomb on that civilization, or if they went to war with each other or destroyed themselves. And I don't know if we are heading the same way. In the Tower of Babel is telling a story about how God got mad when we were making a tower that can reach the heavens. That wasn't a tower like a building. That was a thing like a spaceship to go out of space to the heavens. And it got when the gods came back and they saw that, they destroyed it. Then they split us all up to different parts of the land, had us speaking different languages. Y'all need to understand there's no black, no white, no Asian. We're the human race. There shouldn't be no borderlines. We need to be as one, because we're still slaves. Okay? Employee means slave. Okay? What employee means slave. They still have a grip. They still running things. Why do you think they went out of space, went to the moon, and they stopped? They said they be seeing flashes. It's been going on for 1,000 years. This might be a little tourist. Aliens taking pictures of our planet. People, military saying they seeing spaceships. Some of them is our ships, but some of them are alien ships. Okay. Coming checking us out. They're here. You don't have to believe it, but they're here. They probably walking among us. You don't even know it. You probably talking with them. You don't even know it. You're talking to an Anunnaki. with Ankhenaten, King Tut father. He had that elongated head like King Tut. Okay, Ankhenaten, he looked like you need to look at the story. He looked like he was a hybrid. He looked like a hybrid, mixed Homo sapien alien. And his brother died, the daddy died. She didn't want to release that power, so she went on ahead and brung him out so he can be the king of Egypt. And he looked deformed. When they talk about the gods handed kingship down to his sons, that elongated head, that was his signature. That elongated head, like King Tut had that elongated head, and he worshipped the sun. Okay, he worshipped the sun, and people, and he wanted to change all the gods in Egypt because they worship a lot of different gods, and they killed him because it was messing with their money. It was messing with a whole bunch of stuff. They killed Ankhenaten, the people killed him, and they killed King Tut because they didn't want to worship the god. They like worshiping the many gods they had. And Ankhenaten was on to something. Now, when I talk about the Anunnaki came, they wasn't our gods, but y'all worship them in the Bible like they was. They was just more advanced than we were by a few million years. And they modified us. Because if they didn't come here and modify us, we'd still be hopping in trees and stuff and living in the jungle. All the Anunnaki did was gave us a boost, but for their own gang too. But we benefited from it. But when Ankhenaten was talking about with the sun, he was talking about that's the true God. And when I studied, I was like, you know what? He might be on to something. He might be on to something. Because if you look at outer space in our Milky Way, they sent a satellite out of space in our Milky Way. It's 1.7 trillion suns in our Milky Way. 1.7 million suns in our Milky Way. So you know it's an infinity of planets. It's an infinity of planets. So if it's 1.7 trillion suns, there got to be 100 trillion planets in our one Milky Way alone. They found 10 trillion. 10 trillion Milky Ways. But I'm just talking about our one. Our one Milky Way, the one we live in. It got 1.7 trillion suns and over 100 trillion planets. They found 10 trillion Milky Ways. And people think there's no such thing as aliens. There's no such thing as aliens.